This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. It has been a beautiful Saturday all across North Mississippi. I hope y'all have been able to get some outside time. I know I did earlier on today. It has been a great day, so let's just get started with this broadcast so we can go back to enjoying this beautiful weather we're having. We're seeing this beautiful weekend continue. This isn't just a Saturday thing, not a front half of the weekend. We are going to see these beautiful conditions continue, but also improve. We saw pretty much upper 70s for our highs today, seeing mid 70s for tomorrow, so still above average for this time of year, but definitely getting better. But those above average temperatures and those trends, they are going to stay as well. This is not only just a weekend thing, but into primarily the entire work week ahead. We are staying above average as we continue into the work week, but thankfully still beautiful weather ahead of us as we continue into the work week here in North Mississippi. But also by the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give you a long range forecast on that future rainfall and those storm chances, because that's been pretty much the main story that we're talking about for your Thursday and Friday, because as of right now, we are seeing calm, clear conditions across North Mississippi, and that's what we want to enjoy now. But we also want to make sure you are ready for Thursday and Friday, give you the very latest on what those models are showing and kind of what goes into forecasting those rain chances. All of that's coming up towards the end of the broadcast. But taking a look at the first 12, focusing on the present right now, we're seeing temperatures around 68 degrees by 7 o'clock, cooling on off towards the low 60s by 1. But notice we're pretty much sticking in the low 60s, upper 50s for our overnight lows. So definitely not going to be chilly by any means, not even brisk across North Mississippi. Those above average trends continuing for our lows as well. Still going to be a beautiful night here in North Mississippi. But taking a live look with our Mississippi Live Weather Radar, we are seeing absolutely nothing across North Mississippi, and that is perfect because Oxford kicking off their football game, I think right now is at 6 o'clock. So I know y'all are ready to go watch the Rebels take on the Gators. So it should be a good game out there. We are seeing beautiful, clear conditions. So definitely good football weather, above average football weather, but definitely beautiful weather to enjoy some football as we continue into the weekend. But forecasted rainfall for the next 3 days, we see those 20% chances for your Monday and Tuesday. That's what we talked about yesterday. When I say these are very isolated in nature, and this is what I'm talking about. Most of us really aren't going to see rainfall. This isn't really going to be picking up on those chances of rainfall. This is kind of a broadened sense with those QPF chances, but just showing the difference between forecasted rainfall for the next 3 days and those spotty isolated chances of rainfall as compared to your rainfall for the next 7 days. And that's due to a cold front making its way through. This is pretty much going to be the total amount of rainfall that we get within the next week. I hate to break it to you, but all of this is pretty much occurring within a day or 24 hours, pretty much your Thursday and Friday. And so this is what we get to look forward to as far as the rainfall, but also want to make sure that we are prepping y'all for the storm threat, any severe weather chances still a ways away out, especially with these models disagreeing, but want to make sure y'all are pretty much kept in the loop as we get closer and closer. Want to make sure y'all know the very latest on what is happening, but showing that we're going to get some decent amounts of rainfall. Notice the Northeast, 3 inches almost. This isn't primarily just because of the cold front. Those 20% chance days we have Monday, Tuesday, technically even into Wednesday. Most of those rainfall chances are in your DeSoto, Tunica, Tate County, all in the northwestern portions of our viewing area. So that will be where you can see those isolated chances of rainfall, but the more widespread threat, that is later on towards the end of the work week, which we'll be discussing towards the back half of this broadcast as well. But our surface analysis showing not much going on here in North Mississippi. That high pressure system still moving on out, but that cold front, this will come eventually towards North Mississippi. That's going to make its way into our viewing area overnight. That's what's going to change our southerly wind direction into more northerly wind direction, allowing us to continue to stay dry here as we wrap up our weekend here in North Mississippi. We're going to see that here on Futurecast right now, showing those clear, calm conditions, but also southerly motion as well. But let's continue into the evening hours as we get closer towards that 10 o'clock broadcast time and eventually midnight as well, seeing those calm, clear conditions. But that cold front pushing on through North Mississippi, changing that wind direction as well, not really bringing many rainfall chances. It's not a very strong cold front by any means, not even cooling us off drastically as well, just really shifting that wind direction for us as well, bringing in some cloud cover, and that's about it. Very weak in nature, not going to be anything like the cold front we could see by the end of the work week, just pretty much changing our wind direction, not really seeing much rainfall as we wrap up our weekend here in North Mississippi. But the next 24, showing those pretty much partly cloudy conditions when we wake up due to that cold front, bringing in that cloud cover, temperatures around 61 degrees. But as you continue into your day, we're seeing that cloud cover move on out, seeing mostly clear conditions throughout the rest of your Sunday. And highs, I mean, a lot better than what they were today. We were seeing upper 70s on the cusp of low 80s, pretty much sitting in the low to mid 70s across North Mississippi before we eventually start cooling off, seeing low 60s yet again by the 6 o'clock broadcast time, and then eventually low 50s by 9 o'clock. So definitely stooping a little bit lower for our lower temperatures tomorrow. Definitely a beautiful forecast here as we continue wrapping up our weekend here in North Mississippi. But like I keep mentioning, I want to give you all the very latest on those rain chances, that storm threat coming for your Thursday and Friday in the work week. We're going to be discussing what the rest of your weekend looks like and the start of your work week. All that's coming up in 1 minute.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Taking a look at some Weather Watchers pictures. This is what I put up on my Facebook earlier, giving a vote on when is the right time to hang up your Christmas lights. You had right after Halloween, definitely didn't put right before Halloween, sometime between Halloween and Thanksgiving, and of course, after Thanksgiving, getting ready for the Christmas season. Wanted to get y'all's votes on that because, like I mentioned earlier, I was outside today and I was helping with setting up those Christmas lights. This is a picture of both my mom and dad setting up those net lights that we put on the column. Definitely enjoying the beautiful conditions we had outside, those wispy clouds up high in the atmosphere, allowing for a beautiful day to be held outside. And of course, we got the dog working as well. Emmy and my little brother out there in the background wrapping the bushes as well with the Christmas lights. So 'tis the season. Very excited to continue working on that project. We wait until Thanksgiving though. I promise. It looks like we're doing this at the start of November, but we wait until Thanksgiving. Lunch is over, come home, see the house lit up, and then it's technically occurring between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So promise we're not crazy. But I'd love to see y'all's votes out there on Facebook. Send in some pictures on what y'all are doing this weekend because we're seeing beautiful conditions as we continue into our Sunday. So definitely want to see what all you guys are up to and what's going on across North Mississippi. But taking a look at our day planner, we're still seeing these beautiful conditions continue. 65 degrees by 8 o'clock, cooling off towards the low 60s. And like I mentioned earlier, we're pretty much sticking there. We're not going much further than the low 60s, upper 50s. That will be our overnight lows. The only thing that we can see overnight is pretty much some cloud cover, but not really going to be seeing that as we are pretty much asleep during those hours. But Futurecast still showing those calm, clear conditions all across North Mississippi. That southerly motion still very relevant and occurring here in North Mississippi, just not going to be occurring here much longer due to that cold front making its way through. You can already kind of see it trying to get a clip in right here during the 10 o'clock hour. We'll definitely be talking about it during our broadcast later on tonight at 10 o'clock, but still southerly clear skies before that cold front approaches. It's not until after it reaches North Mississippi, especially midnight and on, where it starts bringing cloud cover and you can almost see kind of green splotches associated with it. Still, I'm not very confident on those rain chances. This cold front will try to provide some lift to some of those rain chances, but we are still very dry here in North Mississippi. If we get any rain chances, the good thing is it's happening overnight. We're all asleep. Not really going to know if it happens. not going to interfere with any outdoor plans. We're still seeing beautiful conditions tomorrow. But that wind direction changes from the southerly motion into more northerly motion. That cloud cover is still kind of pushing on through North Mississippi. That will eventually kind of push on out as well, seeing mostly clear conditions on the back half of your Sunday. But low temperatures, like I keep mentioning, pretty much upper 50s, low 60s all across North Mississippi. I mean, this is pretty much the definition of above average, especially compared to where we were at the start of this work week. But I enjoy these temperatures a lot more than the cooler, brisk, chilly temperatures, but I know we're getting the fall closer to winter. I just got to prepare myself for them. So I'm right there with you guys. But Futurecast still showing that cold front moving on through North Mississippi. It's going to continue pushing on through, bringing that cloud cover with it. But that northerly wind direction, that's going to continue kind of blowing into North Mississippi as you go about your Sunday. Still seeing some clouds kind of push on through, but most of us are seeing clear conditions, if not with those cloud covers very high in the sky, very wispy in nature, not really going to be doing much of a thing as we continue into our Sunday. Still seeing those clear conditions, that northerly wind continuing to blow through North Mississippi, and maybe some cloud cover trying to push in on the back half of your Sunday into the overnight hours, but still, that sun's already setting. We're not really going to notice that they're starting to move on in as you continue into the back half of your weekend and get started for your work week. But those high temperatures, definitely different than what they were for today. We're seeing 69 Red Bay, Iuka, Corinth, Boonville, 68 out there in South Haven. So upper 60s the further north you go, but also further south you go where that cold front really hasn't reached you yet. You're still in the upper 70s. 78 in Macon and Aliceville, Columbus, 77 in Starkville, Louisville, Eupora. Definitely, it's a change. It's a change. Definitely a change in spectrum. There we go. But it'll still be a beautiful day outdoors, especially with those heat and seas, just showing how dry we are outdoors, maybe cooling us off a degree or two as you continue into your Sunday. It will be a beautiful forecast as you continue into the back half of your weekend. Still above average, but still beautiful outdoors as we wrap up our Sunday. And of course, got to throw in the park planner, because if we are experiencing these above average conditions in fall, might as well enjoy them out at the park as well. Temperatures around 61 degrees by 7 o'clock, warming on up towards the low to mid 70s across most of North Mississippi, then cooling off towards the upper 50s by that 7 o'clock hour. So if you want to wait for that sun to set, those temperatures to drop a little bit more, have at it. You are still seeing partly cloudy conditions, beautiful conditions all across North Mississippi for your Sunday. But coming back to Futurecast, we can kind of see that cloud cover I was just talking about in the later parts of your Sunday, trying to push on into North Mississippi. That northerly wind still kind of keeping it out of our viewing area. But here we go with some of those pesky rain chances, definitely more isolated in nature. You can see these occurring once we hit midnight and on into your Monday, affecting those maybe out there in Greenville and Hollandale if y'all have any late weekend plans before you get started with your work week. But that cloud cover going to continue kind of pushing and staying in the southern portions of our delta. Those rain chances pushing on into North Mississippi as well, primarily affecting those out in the delta. Could be a rainy, soggy start to those out there as well, especially in Winona, Grenada, Greenwood, Chula. Could be a soggy start, Shelby and Clarksdale, but for most of North Mississippi, especially the further east you go, you're seeing a mostly clear, dry start to the work week as well. So definitely depends on where you are here in our viewing area. The delta is seeing increased chances of those rain chances. Most of us here in North Mississippi not really seeing that as well. But as you continue tracking out in your Monday, those rain chances trying to push east, offering a few of us some of those rain chances as you go about your day. Still, most of us are going to stay dry. They're going to be very isolated, just popping up across North Mississippi. We're going to continue to stay mostly dry throughout your Monday. But I wanted to pause it really quick because what's responsible for that is this warm front just kind of popped up here on Futurecast. It's due to a low pressure system all the way out, I believe it's in either Arkansas or Oklahoma. But that warm front kind of pushing on through North Mississippi, providing some of that lift, warm air advection, allowing us to experience some of those rain chances. That's going to continue pushing on across North Mississippi, but we are definitely seeing drier and clearer conditions on the back half of your Monday starting into your Tuesday. But that's why you have your 20% for your Monday and even into your Tuesday as well, but you'll see on the 7-day forecast. But those high temperatures on your Monday, definitely a lot better than any of the highs we're experiencing this weekend. Pretty much low 70s, upper 60s across most of North Mississippi, not even a wide range either. The higher values you can see are 75 in Greenwood, Belzona, and Greenville, but still very nice as you continue into the start of your work week. Still above average. Those heat and seas trying to do the most that they can for us, bringing us down just a little bit as you get started into your work week here in North Mississippi. But that 7-day forecast kind of showing a lot of rain chances as we go about our work week. Sunday, thankfully, staying dry, allowing us to enjoy any beautiful outdoor plans you have outside. Monday and Tuesday, seeing those 20% chance linger. You could argue you could remove this, put 10%, but you don't see that on our 7-day forecast. So we still have isolated chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. What we're really watching is Thursday and Friday, and that's due to a cold front making its way into our area, still a long ways out at this point in time, which is why the models are still disagreeing with that intensity, timing as we get closer and closer towards the work week, but we're continuing to track that out. Those rain chances have changed just a little bit. 30% for your Thursday showing. We're getting a little bit more confident on it becoming more of a Friday kind of early morning event. That's why those chances 60% have remained constant. But Saturday, we are seeing beautiful sunny skies, especially as that cold front continues to push on through, allowing us to pretty much reap the benefits as we get ready for the next weekend here in North Mississippi. But as I mentioned at the start of this broadcast, I want to give you kind of a long range forecasting kind of just to show you what we're looking at behind the scenes, try to get those chances going, and we're going to be covering all of that coming up in 1 minute.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious when he began to discover weather. Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Well, there we go. We even got some meteorologist Gabe Maynor action during our weekend broadcast. But thanks for sticking with us here at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. What we're looking at right here, kind of a regional view of what's occurring in the southeast with our GFS model. This is a long-term forecast that we use to kind of not only see what's happening in the next 24 to 48 hours, but into the rest of the work week and towards the back half of the work week. So this is what we kind of look at as we forecast those rain chances. Right now, seeing those calm, clear conditions. And as we continue into Sunday, tomorrow night, we're seeing those calm, clear conditions continue as well. So maybe some cloud cover trying to push into our area, but notice, not really seeing any greens around our area, especially here in North Mississippi, hence why we are staying dry on the back half of our weekend. But as we continue into the work week, let's try to see some of those green bubbles kind of pop up. Notice these aren't very well formed, and that's because this is a long range forecast, not going to give you exact areas or timing on where it is, but it's showing within this area you could see some rain chances, and you can see starting to clip part of North Mississippi, hence why I said at the start of this broadcast the most northwestern counties in our viewing area could see some of that rainfall chances kind of increase as we go about the work week, hence why they had more rainfall totals in that QPF throughout the next 7 days. And what's responsible for those rain chances is what we just talked about, and that's that warm front being extended from that low pressure system all the way out in Oklahoma, providing some lift and some rain showers, especially for those out in Arkansas, but clipping North Mississippi as well, hence what's responsible for those 20% chances of rain. But as we continue into your Monday night, most of those rain chances are staying west of here, definitely occurring in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, even in the Tennessee. North Mississippi, however, we are still staying dry. That southerly motion back in action here, providing some moisture for those rain chances as we continue into the start of the work week. But Tuesday, kind of seeing those green bubbles just kind of clip North Mississippi, offering a chance of some isolated showers. Not going to be completely dry, but also most of us are going to continue to stay dry here in North Mississippi. Tuesday, 7:30 a.m., showing those clear conditions, that cloud cover primarily out north, covering pretty much all of the state of Tennessee. Those rain chances with that cloud cover as well. Still, those green chances really trying to push close to North Mississippi, but pretty much anywhere but us. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all seeing those rain chances. Here in North Mississippi, we are still staying dry, but still some of them trying to pop up as you continue into the start of the work week, hence why we have that 20% for your Monday, Tuesday, and into your Wednesday as well. But you're going to see what makes those chances kind of increase as we get towards Thursday and Friday. You can already see some yellow and orange. I promise the GFS could show you some more colors, and that's when they're a little bit more confident into the future cast. But you can definitely tell that it's more available out there in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. More confidence out there. North Mississippi, still, we are staying dry, seeing those isolated chances of rainfall. It's not until Thursday or Friday where we really start to see that weather maker start to get closer. You can already start seeing it on the edge right here, that red, that cold front getting closer and closer towards North Mississippi. This is in the Thursday early morning hours at 7:30, seeing a cloudy start to your day, but also a dry start as well. As you continue pushing on towards the back half of the work week, there's that line of storms trying to make their way towards North Mississippi. Now, what this is showing is they're more organized at this time frame, but what models do, we get them pretty much 2 to 3 times throughout the rest of the day. And the good thing and the good trend that we have seen is that most of the timing of it has been pushed backwards just a little bit. So originally it was Thursday, now Thursday night, Thursday overnight, Friday morning. So starting to show that it's going to be more towards Friday, which is why those chances are increasing as well. But the good thing is, notice how yellow, red, very well formed for Thursday all the way out in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. Let's continue tracking out closer towards Mississippi. Not as well formed. Most models are showing it a little bit less intense, not as developed as it gets closer towards Mississippi. That is a good sign to see as we continue getting more and more model runs. And of course, we're going to get model runs Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then once we get towards Wednesday, we can start using more high resolution models within the next 24 to 48 hour period, but showing that it's a little bit less developed as it gets towards Mississippi, but almost all of us seeing that rainfall, even some chances of some thunderstorms in the most northwestern portion of our viewing area. This is at Friday in the early morning hours, 5:30 a.m., showing those rain chances pretty much occurring all across our viewing area. They're going to continue pushing on out as well, starting to see those clearer conditions on the back half of that cold front. What's responsible for that beautiful weather for Saturday? Still some chances in the Golden Triangle region on the back half of your Friday, but moving more into Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia as well. But once we get towards Saturday, we get to reap the benefits of that cold front, and that is calm, clear, beautiful conditions across North Mississippi. And there we go. There's that northerly motion starting to come back into North Mississippi, allowing us to stay dry for your Saturday and probably into your Sunday as well, if I were to guess. But of course, that's kind of a long range look on what some of forecasting is here in North Mississippi, but gives you all a visual on what we're looking at behind the scenes, and also just to let you know what we're tracking as well as we continue into the weekend and work week ahead. But of course, we are enjoying these beautiful conditions. Here's the QR code for both the iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you have given us. I appreciate y'all tuning in to these broadcasts, but enjoy these beautiful conditions. Go outside, watch some football. I know the Rebels just kicked off and the Bulldogs are about to do so as well. But we'll be live later on tonight at 10 after some new model runs come out. So definitely want to see if those rain changes kind of decrease, increase, what we can get from them. I'll make sure to be looking at that between the 6 and the 10 to keep y'all updated. But like I mentioned, enjoy the evening that y'all have ahead. Enjoy these current beautiful conditions, and I'll see y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center at 10.